Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I hope that you are well and Happy New Year. Do you know, I woke up this morning and I thought I will do an energy update for the month ahead for January. The rain was lashing against the windows for what seems like the umpteenth day. Very severe gales and rain and storms just coming in one after the other. And I always struggle a little bit first thing in the morning anyway with low mood. I have to sort of give myself a bit of a talking to and do my practices and just get my head in the right space to get up and start the day on a positive note. And I heard these words from Metatron, and he gave me the title of a video to do. I don't know if it's going to be this video or not, but he said, getting through January. It's about getting through January. Now, this probably is particularly linked to people in my part of the world going through winter. But having said that, I'm hearing tales coming out of Australia where you should be having your summer, where it feels as though it's anything but in some places. I realise Australia is a big old place. So I'm sure some of you are having sun. If you're in California, you're probably bathing in sunshine. Are you? I don't know. But it's this thing about the wintry months, the dark months. And I think even if you are in summertime, I think we can all agree that 2024 has started off on a pretty dynamic footing. And it feels as though January is going to continue in that vein. So Metatron's guidance about getting through January, I think, is probably pertinent for all of us. Sort of an energy of like, grit your teeth, get on with it. Keep going, trust that it's all going to turn out okay. But definitely, as I said in my part 1 yearly predictions video, the video before this one, we're going to have many fast-paced events happening, go, go, go type energy. But we also have this other energy in town, the Saturn energy, which is demanding that we slow down a bit and we're present more. So there's a real sort of contradiction actually in the energies. So what has happened since January began? I mean, many things, of course. And I have to say, again, I said this in my last video, I'm astounded at the number of you that are going through loss right now. Just so many people messaging and comments coming in on all of my social media channels. I send my love out to all of you. However loss is showing up in your life, whoever it is that you feel as though you have lost, although of course we never truly lose somebody that we really love. They stay here in our heart, but the physical lack of their presence, I'm sure, is very hard to deal with. One of you in particular, your message really spoke to me. You said that you'd just lost your 105-year-old mother, and you said that you'd been her main caregiver for the last 8 years, probably longer than that, I would imagine, in some shape or form. And that you felt as though you'd been given your life back a little bit at the start of January. I suspect also that type of situation where you've been a caregiver for many years, or you've been in a situation which has been watching somebody decline for many years, when you do get your life back, a chance for greater freedom to be able to do what you want to do, there's definitely a transition period that needs to be gone through, because you've got to fill a big gap where once you were doing the providing, the giving, the caring. And it's not just a smooth, step up. It takes practice to get new routines going and mostly to look after yourself as well. So anyway, your comment really touched my heart. So if you're watching me, sending you lots of love. And to all the people that have passed over the Rainbow Bridge, we wish them well on their journey and know that they are here with us. It's funny, today I haven't lost anybody over Christmas, but I put on my amber beads, and these are my ancestors. And as soon as I put them on, I just feel such comfort from those that have walked before me in my family line, who understand sometimes how tricky Januaries can be. Because I do think this first month of the year is a tough one for all sorts of different reasons. There are so many expectations that we place on it, that the clock chimes, the year turns, and we're into a brand new page, which we are, but yet we expect it to look and feel different straight away. And of course, for change to happen and for new things to come in, that's going to take a little bit of time. But it really does feel as though since the year turned literally less than, 48 hours ago, we haven't been able to catch our breath in terms of what's been going on in the collective. I am in this video going to do a general reading for all of us, but I would also like to, I think I am, because I'd also like to look at a couple of the big things that are happening, that I feel, even if you feel as though they haven't touched your life, they are symbolic in a different way of a page turning and a new energy coming into town, as well as honouring what people go through on our planet when they have their safety, they have their foundations taken away from them. So I'm going to talk about Japan. I'm fresh from just watching the extraordinary scenes from the airport in Japan this morning of the plane on fire. Fortunately, everybody got off. I mean, it's just an absolute miracle. But of course, that comes on the back of a huge number of earthquakes, tsunami warnings that came in on January the 1st for Japan. And I'd like to have a look at what's going on in Japan. I also would like to mention the abdication of Queen Marguerite in Denmark. Not somebody I particularly had on my radar, but it's an interesting turn of events. I believe she'd ruled for over 50 years, I think I'm right in saying, and she shocked her nation, Denmark, by on New Year's Eve, abdicating effectively. I think she's going to be doing it in January, but passing the crown on to her son and his wife, and nobody saw that coming. So I wanted to mention that as well. I'm also going to have a little look at the list, and I'm just going to call it the list. I think you all know what I'm referring to. Probably by the time you maybe watch this video, the list will have been made public, although I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit cynical about it, because I think you've only really got to go onto X, formerly Twitter, to find the list of names for yourself. And I think most of us probably know many of the high-profile names that may come out. But maybe for people that really haven't maybe put their head down the rabbit hole at any time over the last couple of years, maybe it will come as a surprise. So I'll have a little look at the list as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. So settle down, guys. Let's see what is going on. I think before I do anything, before I look at those three events, those three things, I would just like to pull a general card for where we are at. 2nd of January, 2024. Where are we at? Let's have a tarot card, please, for everybody. Okay, so I've got two that have just come through, and we've got the Fool and we've got the Seed of Cups. Okay, the Fool and the Seed of Cups. So I think we had the Fool in my last video. The Fool, of course, is the start of a brand new adventure, I want to call it. So we're into a brand new adventure, and what I rather like is that with it, we have the Seed of Cups. Now, we've got a little otter, and he's just sort of waving from the sea at us. Very innocent, very playful, very youthful type of energy. And the energy of this card is giving me the vibes of not having a care in the world. And that doesn't mean, of course, that he doesn't care about what is happening in our world, but it's as though he has learned and he has mastered the art of being able to see things come, see things go, watch energies come, watch energies go. And he's on his back and it just feels very playful. I love the energy of it. And I feel as though we've all got to be a bit like this otter this year, actually, because otherwise we are going to be pummeled by... I'm being shown, Metatron's showing me a, what's it called? A boxing, you know, when you practice boxing and you've got one of those balls maybe in your garage and it's on a plinth and you just pummel it, you pummel the ball. And that's what I'm seeing. It's like this ball, which is just like pummeling us if we allow it to. And the pummels basically are just events. Who was the politician who said, events, my dear, events? I'm sure it was a British politician, but anyway, I'm picking that up as well. Let's have a look at what the Seed of Cups actually says in this particular deck, because I really like his energy. Okay, before we get into the main stories of the day. So the Seed of Cups, he says, I am playful, intuitive, emotional, and a loving being. The Seed of Cups is eager to engage. She seeks light-hearted adventures of heart and soul. Fresh movement and exploration of deeper feelings are natural to her. She easily falls in love, be it with a partner, with an idea, or with the world around her. This innocent intimacy allows her to share and explore new bonds and connections. Her keen intuition lets her safely share compassion towards others and towards herself. So it's reminding us to take things lightly and to be inspired by enthusiasm, to seize the day, basically, to seize the day. Yeah, love it. Okay, so that's really nice. This new start that's coming in, we've got to be like that. As I say, otherwise we're just going to be pummeled by all of these events that are happening. So let's start with one of the countries at the moment that has started the new year probably feeling quite pummeled, and that is Japan. Now, I showed you this card last time. It's the Two of Fire, and I talked about a great fire that I felt was coming and that the world would sort of sit back and take notice of. I mentioned South Africa, not realising actually that there were already a lot of fires in Cape Town, the shanty towns, so may very well have been picking that up, but I was also picking it up for 2024. Well, we're not even 2 days into 2024. It's literally 11 o'clock in the morning as I'm recording this. So we're just into the second day here. And we've had this extraordinary fire, as I say, of the plane on the airport tarmac, basically, in Japan. Now, by the time you watch this, you've probably seen the pictures for yourself, but I will just show you a couple in case you are not aware, or they're not there to show you. But effectively what happened was the plane split in two. I believe it was on fire as it landed. It split in two. It was engulfed. The whole plane was engulfed in flames. And I was watching. I was having my breakfast and I just happened to turn the TV on. And it was one of those moments where it was quite compulsive. I couldn't switch it off because at that moment, of course, they didn't know that people had managed to escape. Everybody escaped. It's an absolute miracle. Over 357 people, 379 people all escaped. Some of the doors weren't open. The imagery of the fire when it was happening on the plane, they were showing the doorway, the door we all go through when we get onto a plane. We climb on board, we climb back out, just with these extraordinary flames coming out of the door. door. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, I can't believe anyone could have possibly got out of that alive. And I think they're saying the plane touched down, it was on fire, they evacuated that plane with, I think it was like 90 seconds. I might be wrong there, but that was what I heard. Would have been very fast anyway, because this fire ripped through the plane. Everybody got off alive. So thank you, God, for that. Thank you, God, for that, because it could have been a very, very different headline, but equally very traumatic to see something like that happening. And of course, that happened on the back of a number of earthquakes that happened in Japan on January the 1st, and potential tsunami alerts, which I don't believe happened in the end. But anyway, Japan has definitely been through it over the last 48 hours. I did say actually before Christmas that the flooding and the water theme was going to carry on through the first quarter of 2024. And I did liken it to, I said it was something similar to the Boxing Day tsunami in another part of Asia all those years ago. So fortunately that tsunami was averted, but yeah, there's a lot of shock energy around Japan right now. And I believe, and I've said this on my other social media, that the Japanese have a lot to teach us through this year and probably through this next decade actually. What I basically said, so I'm not going to repeat myself, is this yesterday. I said that they have much to teach the rest of the world regards dignity, calmness, stoicism, work ethic, business enterprise, community spirit and manners. And in a country with unstable tectonic plates, they are a nation with strong foundations and an indomitable spirit, honouring passed down beliefs, traditions, and an understanding of body, mind and soul. You know, I've not been to Japan. In fact, I want to go this year. But, you know, I've watched the programs with people doing Tai Chi in the park, and it just seems to be ingrained, this healthier way of looking after body, mind and soul. And I do think this is at odds, and I said this, against a more increasingly secular West, which continues to defile, embarrass and disgrace itself in many ways. So I said, look to the East for stewardship, leadership and grounded wisdom. Now, of course, no nation is perfect. The Japanese have their issues and things that they need to work on just as much as any other nation on earth. But I do think there's something about Japan being highlighted this year. And I'm going to just pull a couple of cards for Japan right now. And I'm going to use the Japanese tarot. And let's see what we get. Okay, so 4 cards for Japan. Let's just have a look at the energy in Japan right now. Let's have 1 card right now for the energy in Japan. We have the 8 of Tides. The 8 of Tides. And here we see a figure dressed in black. And the 8 of Tides would be the 8 of Cups. And it's as though it reminds me of someone or a collective that have been through a bit of a dark night of the soul energy and are just starting to emerge out of it. And interestingly, on the bottom of the deck, actually it's confirming on the, oh wow, okay. I'm taking the 3 cards off the bottom of the deck as well. It's just confirming what I was picking up, because we've also got the Star, I'll show you the cards in a moment, the World and the Fool. So this new start that we have in 2024, wherever we are in the world, which we're being asked to be like the otter, the Seed of Cups type energy, I feel as though Japan are leading the way for some reason. It's as though they've already gone through this. So they're definitely leading the exit from an old way of doing things. And we have the Star, beautiful card, the Star. We have the World. And we have the Fool. So we have 3 major arcana cards coming out for Japan. I just want to check what it says about the 8 of Tides in the book. I know what the Eight of Tides or Eight of Cups traditionally would mean, but of course, maybe slightly different meanings in particular decks. So let me just put the card back up. It's only a short little message. It says it's about a search for deeper meaning, a journey of self-discovery, which comes about from a place of dissatisfaction or disillusionment, letting go of the past and taking personal responsibility. So it's a cloaked and hooded figure holding a walking staff, travelling a dark and somewhat sombre path. A possible destination, perhaps welcoming, as indicated by the morning light and gentle colours may be seen in the distance. But you see, that was on top, but underneath we've got all of these major arcana cards: the Star, the World, the Fool. The Star is healing. The Star is also a vision for a new way, a new cultural identity maybe, a new era, a new paradigm. The World is saying that the past is over, and the Fool is saying we're on to a completely new cycle. So definitely Japan is a country to watch through 2024. I feel as though they're going to take more of a lead, not just in the East, but worldwide as well. Let me just pull one final card. So we've got 5 cards for Japan. Oh, okay, well, it's just flown out before I even said anything. We've got the Queen of Fire. The Queen of Fire has come out for Japan. So do they have an Empress of Japan? Sorry, I just need to look this up because I don't actually know. Empress Japan. Japan obviously still have their royal family. Yes, so Masako is the Empress of Japan. She's the wife of the Emperor who ascended to the chrysanthemum throne following his father's abdication in 2019. So she is 60 years old, and for some reason I'm picking her up, the Empress of Japan. Just see if there's anything... the chrysanthemum throne. How beautiful is that? Right, well, she looks beautiful. That's what she looks like, guys. I don't know if that's focusing on that, but there we go. So let me pull a card for Empress Masako. So she seems to be part of this new paradigm shift in Japan. And it's interesting because I'm about to also just do a little mini reading on Denmark. And we have Princess Mary, who's going to become Queen Mary, who actually looks very much like our Catherine, Princess Catherine in the UK. But anyway, that's by the by. It feels as though there are some powerful women coming to play. Now, the Ten of Fire, which will be the Ten of Wands, has come through. And we've also got the King of Tides and the Nine of Tides. So it feels as though we have a king and a queen in Japan. She is coming through as the Queen of Fire, and we've also got the King of Tides. So whether the Emperor is the more emotional one, or, I mean, that can work either way. It could be that he's emotionally stunted, but there's emotion coming through for some reason. He's either full of emotion and able to show all his feelings, or it's the opposite of that and totally unable to. But we've got her as the Queen of Fire. I'm feeling she's the power behind the throne, is what I want to say. She is the power behind the throne. She is the one to watch. And Ten of Fire is with her. She has lots of ideas for the future. This card also, I wish I did know chess and knew how to play chess. Maybe that could be one of my things that I could learn in 2024. It's very good for your brain, isn't it? But let's just see what it says about the Ten of Fire in this particular deck, coming out with her. So it's talking about a heavy responsibility or burden. But it's the undisputed leader in control of the organization. So On the battlefield of a chessboard, the white king sends his knight into action against an opposing black bishop. Here is the undisputed leader in complete control of the organization he directs. He must continually confront the often unrelenting, overwhelming burden of responsibility that his position entails. But I think that's her. So it's her. She's got a lot on her shoulders, but it's because Japan is going to be metamorphosizing before our eyes in 2024 and showing us how to do it with dignity, respect, manners, and grace is what I want to say. So, Japan, good luck. We'll watch this space with you. Right, let's get on to Denmark. So I would like to mention Denmark. And I would also like to send my apologies to Denmark for some of the horrendous things that I've seen online over the last 48 hours, particularly stemming from, well, I can't apologise on behalf of any other country other than my own, but it's coming from other countries as well. But one of our big broadcasters, GB News, they did a big hatchet piece on Queen Marguerite's abdication, and they said something along the lines of, is there anybody more irrelevant? And they got absolutely slammed, rightfully so, in the comments section. And these are people that watch GB News, I guess, who are commenting on it. So they called that really wrongly, because at the end of the day, if we actually think about it, forget whether you agree with the concept of kings or queens. You know, we might not agree with the concept of presidents. You know, if you don't have a king or queen, you're going to have a president or something like that. But anyway, countries such as Denmark have a monarchy. That particular queen, Queen Marguerite, even though I don't know hardly anything about her, had been on the throne for 50 years. Very much like our Queen Elizabeth, who went on for 70 years. But 5 decades of service to the people. From what I can make out, she seemed to be quite an eccentric character. A lot of character is what I want to say. Did things her own way. And for the people of Denmark, it is a seismic event and happening, and it should be respected as such. And I really feel as though unity consciousness is about noting things that are happening in other countries, not just our own, and trying to understand, trying to learn, maybe just being interested in other people's cultures, other people's ways, other people's history, because I think that's where we can learn things from each other. It's a bit like when you go and travel around the world. And you go and travel and I always realise, like, oh my God, Amanda, you're so British. You are so British. You know, for God's sake, you don't need a bloody cup of tea at 11 o'clock. You don't need that. You know, do something different. You know, what are they doing in the country you're in? What are they drinking? What are they talking about? What are they interested in? What's their history? What's their culture? That is how we grow. And I just think it's important that as we go through 2024 and we have these big events that are happening all over the world, not just in America, not just in UK, not just in Germany, wherever you are, in all over the world, that we just take a minute to stop, note, acknowledge, and see what we can learn from other cultures. So that being said, I'm going to pull a couple of cards for Denmark, and I'm just wondering which deck to go to, and let me have a little look. Denmark, okay, I think we're going to go for this one. I'm just going to pull a different deck out. Yeah, we're going to go for the Tarot Grand Lux. Why not? Fresh deck. So let's first off have a look at Queen Marguerite and her reasons for abdicating. Some are saying that she stepped down because of failing health, her age. Others are saying it is to protect the monarchy in her country, because I believe her son, who is now to be king, there's been some scandal around him with regards to maybe extramarital behaviour. And it's to, you know, solidify the couple, Mary and don't know what he's called. Let's get it all up to have a look at it. Denmark, royalty. Okay. Danish royal family. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you see, in Denmark, there's a lot of people very upset about this. And these are just some of the headlines. How Queen Marguerite made the Danish monarchy popular. All of Denmark is crying. Danes react to Marguerite's abdication. So it's Crown Prince Frederik, who is the king in waiting. And Princess Mary will be the queen. And they look like that. Okay, so that's the new king and queen as of later this January. And let's just have a look, though. So first off, let's have a look at Queen Marguerite. Let me just pull a couple of cards for her. For some reason, I just stopped. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. And it is a gateway. It's a gateway that is open. She is opening the gateway for her son and his wife to take over. As the clock strikes 11 downstairs. Okay, let's see what goes with the Two of Wands, the Sun. I'm hearing it's a power move. It's a power move. I'm being taken back to old courts from, I don't know, the Middle Ages, where the royalty of France, Spain, UK, Denmark, wherever, they would make these power moves to sort of assert their dominance more with regard to other royal houses, actually. There's a bit of that's going on as well, wanting to actually highlight the Danish throne, which some people weren't even aware was there. And again, so something to learn. Yes, Denmark has a royal family, quite a well-loved royal family. So it feels as though it's a power move, and it's definitely been well thought through. It's been well planned by her. She's very, very sure of her decision. No doubts whatsoever. She's ready to hand over the power, basically. Look at all that golden sunlight. And the Two of Wands, this is what I bequeath you. And I'm picking up that she wants to see, there's a difference here between, for example, like when Queen Elizabeth died, and she was never going to abdicate or give the throne to Charles before she died. It just wasn't in her nature. That doesn't mean it was better or worse. It just wasn't in her nature to do that. But she never got to see what would happen after she died, basically. Would Charles make a go of it? Would he not? What would happen with it? William, etc. Marguerite wants to know. It's like she wants to see, she wants to witness this transfer of power while she's still alive. And yeah, the Ace of Coins, the other card out of the deck, the Ace of Coins. These are really powerful cards. So I'm not picking up anything here about a woman who is frail, infirm. I mean, she's old, so maybe she's got a few issues, but, I'm not picking up any type of mental faculty decline. She knows exactly what she's doing. I'm just hearing this is a real power move on her behalf. One more card, please, with regards to her motivation for abdicating now. She is also quite eccentric. She quite liked the fact that she announced her abdication when no one was expecting it, New Year's Eve. Apparently there are all these TikTok videos of Danes seeing in the new year and watching the speech live. And it's like, people just like, what? So there's a bit of a maverick about her. She likes that. But we've got the Eight of Coins, hard work. It's as though there she is, the Queen of Coins. She's put in a lot of hard work over a number of years to secure her position, to secure the monarchy in the Danish people's minds. And she wants to make damn sure that it's going to be successful long after she's gone. It could also be that she's going to be like a steward There's a stewardship. I mean, she is passing the throne on, but it feels as though she's still going to be watching and she's still going to be advising. And it's quite a canny move, actually, because if Frederick then makes mistakes, he has got his mother to turn to for advice. I'm sure that Charles, in moments where he is just really feeling the pressure and like, what am I meant to do? Should I say this? Should I not say this? Okay, he's got Camilla to turn to, but actually, if he had his mother, he probably would be racing down the corridor to get his mum's advice on all sorts of things. Frederick has that ability to do it, so it's really quite good for him. It's good. Let's see how Frederick is feeling then with regards to becoming a king. We have the Ten of Wands. I shouldn't laugh really, but the Ten of Wands and the Four of Swords. He was hoping to maybe just stave it off for a little bit longer. The pressure of being king weighing heavily on his mind now. It's like, oh my God, she's done it. She's really done it. She's really passed it over. My period of, I don't know what this guy does, but I wanted to say sleeping is over. Doesn't mean that he hasn't been doing, good for Denmark, but he has to step up a gear now. It's as though he's been, what's that expression? He's been caught at the wheel, maybe literally as well in terms of infidelity, but it's as though he has to wake up from his sleep. He has to wake up from his sleep. And I think there's a part of Queen Marguerite that has done this deliberately to literally snap him into action, to wake him up. She knows exactly what she's doing. So, but I think she knows that her son is going to find it burdensome. But that's why she wants to be around to help with this. We've got the Hanging Man that's come through, the Four of Wands and the Knight of Coins. So for Frederick, this is a big hanging man moment, the hanged man, when you have to suddenly take a different look at your life. Yeah, he did not see this coming at all, the moon. He did not see this coming. This arrived like a bolt out the blue, poor bloke, in many ways, because it's like, no, you're meant to be the King of Wands. But he had been feeling much more like the knight. I mean, I know he was a prince, but to step up from being the knight to the king, it's like a big jolt to the senses. Like, oh my God, I've really got to do it now. I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. Now, the moon is a secret that has now been revealed. But I also feel as though Marguerite might have made the final decision on that Cancer, was it full moon or new moon? The Cancer moon right at the end of December, which is all about home and family. And I think that's when the deal was sealed in her mind that, no, I am abdicating, I'm passing it on. It's time for Frederick to step up to the plate, be the man that I know he can be the king that he can be. But for him, it's literally been like, whoa, it's a shock to the senses. The Four of Wands is there, which is a card usually of celebration, marriage. That probably will be the coronation itself. And I feel probably very much like with Charles, it won't be until he's actually been crowned and he's been invested and the robes are on and all of that. And I believe there's a spiritual moment that happens in coronation as well, where the Holy Spirit comes down. Then he will step into being a king. Right now, he's looking a bit like, I'm seeing the child hiding behind his mother's skirts, like, oh, I don't really want to do it. But she's pushing him out into the fore and saying, you can and you will, and I'm here to support you. Now, I can't see his wife at the moment, so Queen Mary, as she will be. I can't believe how much this lady looks like Kate, actually, Catherine Middleton. Let me just show you. I mean, it's just as an aside, really, but it's interesting because what I believe is that, sorry, let me get her picture up. Sometimes we can look similar to other people because there is actually a soul tribe membership that we belong to. So it feels as though this Mary of Denmark and our Princess Catherine are going to be quite formidable, actually. Look at her. I mean, come on. very, very like Catherine Middleton, our Princess Kate. So I see Kate Middleton, Princess Catherine of Wales, who will be the Queen at some point in the future, and this Mary, they're going to have some fun on the world stage, and they are going to be, if they're not already, great confidence in each other, turning to each other for help. Because how old is this lady? She's 51, so she's a little bit older than Kate, but 51 is still terribly young, of course. Still terribly young in your 50s. No, she's young for the role, to have that put on her as well. Let's pull a couple of cards for her. Let's see what's going on with Mary. At the moment, Mary, Crown Princess of Denmark. She's got the same birthday as my mother, the 5th of February. How interesting. There's much I could say about that, but of course she's born in a different year to my mum, but 5th of February, so she's an Aquarian. Actually, let's just I'm tempted to do her numerology. 1972, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 8. So she's an 8, and we're in an 8 year. This is going to be her year. She has to step into all of it, the abundance of being a queen, the success of being a queen, taking over from a very successful queen. Okay, let's have a look at her. Let's have a look. So, Princess Mary, Denmark. 2 cards, please. Princess Mary of Denmark. The 2 of Swords. Well, this is a crossroads for her. This is a crossroads for her. She didn't see it coming either. Look how her eyes are shielded. She could maybe see it a little bit more than her husband, having said that, because she can actually see through the blue cloth that is over her eyes. It's transparent, but it was partly shielded from her. But I feel as though she had a bit of a hunch. She needs to be connecting into the blue stones. This woman here has got blue at her throat. She's got blue at her third eye and blue at her crown. So if I was advising her, I would be saying you need to be getting the blue jewels out. Sapphire. Is there such a thing as blue topaz? I'm feeling I want to say blue topaz. I don't know if there is such a thing as blue topaz. But okay, let's see what goes with the 2 of Swords. So this was a crossroads she didn't see coming. She was already at a crossroads because there had been speculation about her marriage. But let's just see, she's not Queen yet. Let's say Princess Mary. The 5 of Wands, yeah, I mean, the Hermit. You see, she had been in a hermit phase because of what had maybe been going on in her personal life with him. And she's being forced out into the open by this. Page of Coins, I assume they've got children. Page of Coins is showing one of her children. Let's see, going forward, Princess Mary going forward. Princess Mary going forward. My eye is starting to, like, you know when you get like a stress flutter on your eye? I'm feeling that. We've got Temperance. It's going to take her a little bit of time. She actually needs some healing right now. She needs some healing. Yeah, she feels like she's in a bit of a battle. She doesn't trust her husband at the moment. One card for their marriage. She knows that he's been sneaking around. She doesn't trust him. Their marriage. They've got the 3 of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I feel as though they will make it work, though. They will make it work. The romance can come back in. But I actually think, you see, yeah, the mother-in-law is very wise here. Queen Marguerite knows what she's doing. She knows that by putting the mantle of king and queen onto them, they change their their energy changes. They become different people. I mean, they're obviously the same people, but they become different people. And those two different, enhanced, higher frequency beings, anointed beings, re-find each other. They had lost each other. They were losing each other. The mother saw that, and the mother knew that the crown was a way to bring them back to each other. The Knight of Cups is there saying they still love each other. They still love each other. And the Three of Cups is the card of reunion. Now, the Three of Cups sometimes is also, it implies a third party situation. But in this sense, I'm feeling that the third party is the mother. It's the queen who is bringing them back to each other. Okay, let's just have a couple of cards in terms of them as king and queen together. So the new king and queen of Denmark. Show me the energy of the new king and queen of Denmark. Is there a coronation date yet? Probably not. I'll look at that when we have one, or I'll come back to it nearer the time. Show me the energy of the new king and queen. Oh, okay, there's loads of cards just flown out. But this one, okay, this one in particular flew out. I mean, I have to laugh a little bit. This deck is quite funny because here we've got, I'm going to take this as a king of cups, but the face on it, eight of swords. He's trapped. It's like he's trapped in it. What else have we got here? There's loads of cards that flew out all at once. I'll just tell you what they are. We've got two knights. The Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So he will gather around him men who he can trust. I don't know whether he has brothers. If he has brothers, I see the brothers around him forming. This is literally like the court of King Arthur type energy. It's like me and my men, you know, protecting me, because he feels trapped into it, and the only way he can make it work is to have strong men around him. Maybe he's not a very strong man, actually. It might be that he's not as strong as his mother thinks he is, and so therefore he's going to bolster his energy with other men around him who can help him. These will also be advisors. It could be anything. It could be advisors, lawyers, I don't know, strategists. But we have the world and we have the tower. His old world has come crashing down. The tower has come. This was a totally unexpected thing for him. He's like shell-shocked. I'm just feeling like he's shell-shocked. It's like the end of his world, the end of his old world. And now he knows. We've got the Six of Coins, Six of Pentacles. He knows it's time to pay back. So his times of being, if he's been a playboy or just a party prince, those days are over. It's now time to pay back. It's now time to give back to your country in a more sustained and grounded way. And you've got the Fool, mate, whether you like it or not. You are onto a completely new path. The past is over. The future is here. And here's hoping that he can make the best of it. But he's definitely got the Page of Coins as well. He's just got all this male energy around him, a lot of younger male energy around him. If they're not physically younger than him, in terms of sons, brothers, cousins, they're going to be advisors. So he's going to have a very masculine court. And I sort of worry a little bit about the Princess Mary, because I don't know, or maybe it's the fact that she banishes. Where are the women is what I'm wanting to say. I'm going to pull one more card for Princess Mary, but I'm going to go to a different deck. I'm going to go to the Metatron deck, actually. I feel like Metatron wants to say something here. The Danish monarchy itself feels very secure. Doesn't feel as though that's about to dissolve itself anytime soon. But the Mary, Princess Mary. Show me a card for Princess Mary. Show me a card for Princess Mary. Yeah, she's got the priorities card and she's got the cosmos mirrors you. She's also got the red safety card. So she's going to have to take it a step at a time. It's not going to be straightforward for her to step into the shoes of the old queen, but she will learn. She will learn building blocks to success. She will prioritize what's important. She needs to learn that the cosmos mirrors her. So any negative talk, self-talk, any sort of victim energy, any sort of I can't do it, that's going to be magnified tenfold and come back to her. She needs to really step into the shoes of her divine self, her sovereign self, and believe that she can do it. She needs to work on her grounding. She might be quite grounded, but I just feel as though the earth has shook underneath her. So she needs to concentrate on building up her base chakra energy and also to rely on the dragon strength that is within her. She is a number 8. It is her year because 8 numerological year is the 2024 energy. It's also the year of the dragon. She's got the dragon energy coming forward with her as well. I feel as though it's as though I'm trying to read on somebody and it's premature to read on her because she hasn't stepped into what she will be. I definitely see her and Kate making an alliance as well together, and maybe Kate will help her. I feel as though Kate might help her to with the duties and responsibilities that are coming. Let me just see the energy between Mary and Kate. The energy between Mary and Kate. That's just so lovely. I was thinking, I wonder what's going to come through. The energy between Mary and Kate, Catherine, Princess of Wales, the card of strength and the Hierophant. How beautiful is that? I just think that's so stunningly beautiful. They're going to give each other strength, because the Hierophant is the card of leadership and governance. This could also be the card of royalty, okay? The Hierophant, the one that is on the throne, I'm going to give you strength, and the lion, and it's coming in with the female energy. Beautiful. Love that. So, make sure you've got Kate on speed dial is what I'd like to say to Mary. Okay, let's move on. The third topic of this video, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to read on this, to be perfectly honest, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to go to a completely fresh deck. I think I'll go to my trusty After Tarot deck, actually. I am going to ask about the list. Okay, so the list that is going to be released, whether it's today, tomorrow, certainly very soon. Supposedly redacted names that now are unredacted. So names that we haven't been able to see linked into the island and who went there. A couple of things I want to say actually before I pull cards on it. Number one, that little black book contained the names of probably everybody that he tried to bribe, or he wanted to bribe, or he had on his radar to try and hook into his spell, into his spider's web. It doesn't necessarily mean that every single person listed in that little black book is guilty of the most heinous crimes. I think that's very, very important to remember. So it was a book of intention, Metatron is saying, just as much as a book of solid evidence, as it were. What Metatron means by a book of intention is it's numbers and people that he wanted to hook up with, to invite them, to get them to participate, to blackmail, to have one over on them, basically. It doesn't mean that every single name in that book he succeeded in doing that with. It's literally like somebody, I'm being shown him like a mastermind sort of devilly type figure, and there's a great big wall in his room. I think this is just symbolic. And on the wall are all these different pictures of people. And it's like a big planning and mastermind type energy. Like, if I could get him, if I could hook her in, if I could be associated with that person, if I could have my photo taken with that person, I can gather them into my web. And once in my web, I can do the dirtiest, dastliest thing with them, or get them to do that with other people and then blackmail them, etc. Now, a lot of people on that wall that are in the book, he succeeded in doing that with, okay? So they are guilty. But there are also names in the book that were just targets, basically. Targets for the future, targets that maybe he did target, but the people just said, no, thanks, I'm not interested. So please remember that as well. And I feel as though I'm saying that, aside from you watching my regulars, who I'm sure get what I'm saying, I think a lot of people it'll just be falling on deaf ears, and it will just be, oh, well, that person's name is in the book, so they are by right guilty. We need to be very, very careful with that. So please remember that. But definitely there are guilty names there as well. Now I need another deck for this, so I'm just going to have a look and see what I want to use with regards to the list. Don't want to use that other deck. Okay. I'm going to use the Knights Templar Tarot, actually. Feels like a good time to use that. So, revelation of the list in terms of the general collective. The Chariot, full steam ahead, okay? These names are going to be released. Maybe they already have been released by the time you watch this video. The Chariot, nothing can stop the truth coming out. Nothing can stop the truth coming out. And in this depiction of the Chariot, we have horses, but two of them are of water and one is of fire. So it feels as though the elements, all of this fire energy around the world, all of the rain and the water energy around the world, it's as though the elements are helping to push up the truths, the inconvenient truths for many people that they would wish to remain buried. But no, it's coming up. The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands. This shows, sorry, I need to look at the card, then I'll put it up to the camera again. This shows somebody, it goes back to ancient times, guarding. This Page of Wands in this card feels as though they are guarding something. Something has been guarded. I mean, we know what's been guarded. The list has been guarded. The list has been guarded. And of course, page is linked to children. So please need to be careful how far I can go in this video. So bear with me. I think you can put the pieces together in terms of what I'm not saying. But guarding the secrets linked into children. But the Chariot is saying, no, full steam ahead. It's all going to come out. We've got the Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that's just confirmation of the energy of children and harm that's probably been done to them by some of the people on this list. We have the Queen of Wands. Not quite sure who that is yet. Could be G, maybe not. Or it could be somebody high up in the prosecution and the legal system who is pushing this through. It could also, no, in fact, Metatron's saying it's more a depiction of the divine feminine who has been working hard. The Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. This is the rise of the divine feminine energy. across our planet that has been working hard to bring about the truths and the names that are in this list. And why are they doing it? They're doing it for the children, to restore an age. I love this card. To restore an age of innocence linked into children. So this is divine feminine energy rising up across our planet, which is helping to bring about these revelations. Now, as I said at the start of this video, I think for most of us, a lot of these names are not going to be great surprises. We obviously have ex-presidents on the list, five of Pentacles. This is a battle. A battle has been taking place to stop the revelation of this. You see, I struggle a little bit because so much of what we already know, we know what's about to be released, a lot of it, in terms of the names, but the general collective out there who are not very awake don't know. And so I'm trying to put myself in the place of people where it's really going to be a shock. My God, I never knew that about this ex-president. I never knew that about this particular member of the royal family. I never knew that about, I don't know, various actors, etc. You know? We do know, or we've certainly got our suspicions. So the suspicions will just be proven true, and it'll be like, well, yeah, I sort of knew that. But remember what Metatron said, just because the names are out there doesn't mean everybody is guilty. But, you know, put it this way, some of those names, there's no smoke without fire, and they absolutely are. But absolutely, there's been a battle going on, you know, to stop this. Look at that. And we've also got an eclipse, a fiery eclipse of the sun. Now, I haven't looked at the... we've also got the Five of Swords. I haven't looked at where the eclipses are happening in 2024 yet. Let's just have a little look where they're going to be. And I'm picking up solar eclipse here. Solar eclipse 2024, because it feels as though whenever that is, there's going to be even more that comes up. So it's saying there's a solar eclipse on April the 8th, 2024. And it's going to be visible across North America. Okay. It's being dubbed the Great North American Eclipse. Well, there's certainly going to be some American names very much highlighted around that time. I feel as though there's an A list and there's a B list. There's a list of names that's going to be released quite soon, literally within days. And then there's another list that sort of gets leaked, or maybe it's just that this chariot doesn't give up, okay? So once the first lot of names are up and out and people are like, whoa, really? And then it dies down a bit. Then there's another list that might come out, a second list, a B list. And some of the people on the B list are the ones that are like, phew, my name wasn't aired. You know, my name's still down the bunker if you want to go down the bunker and find it. But most people who are unawake and not looking at it, that just don't know. But it will come out. 5, 5. 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Yeah, because it's like this solar eclipse feels as though it sets the wheels in motion. People start to run for cover. It's like there's no hiding place anymore. There's no hiding place anymore. 8 of Wands. Look at that energy. All of those arrows coming down over the parapets, over the defense system. The defense system is gone. The defense system of these people on our planet who've got away with so much for so long is coming to an end, guys. I mean, that's a huge thing for me to say. And I'm not saying that evil doesn't still exist at the end of 2024, but look at these cards together, the 8 of Wands and the Death card. Now, the other way we could interpret this, I don't want to get too dark in this video, could be that certain people will do anything, including that, to protect their name, okay? But they wouldn't be able to get away with that for much longer, because look at this, the wheel, fate, destiny. It's destiny that these names come into the public domain sooner rather than later. And the all-seeing eye will make damn sure that happens. yeah. Just very, very clear that that is what will happen, okay? I'm not going to name names in this video, and please don't name them below. Otherwise, you will get my video censored or taken down on this channel. So that is as far as I'm going to take it in this particular video, okay? And Bella sort of agrees. Is that somebody at the door, Soph? Oh, that's John. Yeah. Someone at the door. There's always someone at the door. Anyway. Let's see, anything else to do in this video? I think that's probably done enough for now. Let's pull a final card from the Metatron deck for all of us, just to wrap it up. And also, I'm just going to do this. Watch out if you're listening on headphones. This makes quite a noise. I just want to clear the energy after reading on that last subject. Okay. Final card from Metatron for you that is watching, and then I will say goodbye and I'll be back again very soon. So for the people watching, any other guidance, please, Metatron, for these early days of January? Healing and family and endings. We're sort of back to what I was talking about at the start of this video. There's a lot of changes coming in terms of families right now. There are endings, there are passings, there is loss. Metatron is saying, please pause to receive the healing that is coming in, if that has happened to you. But equally, there are changes and there are adjustments happening in families right now. But this is also true of the collective family. If you think about the last subject I was just reading on, we are all a collective family, humankind, humanity. There are endings coming in with regards to certain things that have been happening in humanity, and we are going to require healing and a pause to receive that healing. Because once all the shock and like, oh my God, I can't believe that, and oh, never suspected him or her, and like, really? Gosh, it must be true, because all of that, it's like it reverberates. There's a lot of shock energy that comes into the collective family. And Metatron's saying also, please watch out for your children, watch out for your youngsters in your care. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be arising in the collective, stories, but also events, and make sure that you are streaming in lots of positive light to your family as we ring out the old and we bring in the new through 2024, okay? So make sure you're working with colour, you're working with light, you're staying in your heart. One of the next videos that I will do is I'll do my annual countdown of the top 10 sprays, which are the colour energies for the last 12 months. We've had a complete shake-up of what the top 10 are, so it's really interesting. And I think that will help us as well. In terms of those of you that use my sprays, I don't know if I've got it to hand to show you, but I recommend the Rainbow Ray spray, which is an upgrade and attunement spray. Also, I don't think I've got any of them to hand. My room's in chaos because I'm about to redecorate, so apologies. But Bluebell Bridge for loss and grief, beautiful spray, which really can help. The Rainbow Ray spray, upgrade and expansion, just brings through the whole rainbow light. And as I said last time as well, I think the energy of Joseph, Divine Protector, also very, very helpful for these days, because it's like the safe hands of the Divine Masculine, practical, empathic, sensitive, gentle, and above all, loving. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much for watching. Lots of love. See you all again soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye.